Hi guys, welcome to today's show. I'm so excited for you to be part of today's show because I'm going to be talking about a movie that I actually love very much and I think was actually outstanding. Yes, I regard this movie as an epic because of the scale, because of the set pieces, everything that went into this movie. So I'll call it an epic, and even the length itself attests to this. The movie had a running time of over 2 hours, like about 2 hours 20 minutes. A lot of that could have been cut off anyways, but nevertheless, I still enjoyed this movie very much. What movie am I talking about? Living in Bondage, Breaking Free. Check out the trailer.
You know, you remind me so much of my younger self.
I do?
Growing up, we always wanted more. You felt you're never really where you're meant to be.
Come on, we go.
Look at this life. Do you want this life? And I can give it to you. Everything.
I'm making you think right now. 150 million, I swear to God. One go back. Lagos to go Lagos to go when I'm there over there.
So, Living in Bondage basically is a 2019 story that picks up where the original Living in Bondage dropped off, and was a story about a certain man who decided to go through the wrong route, rituals, which a lot of Nigerians, a lot of people do to try and make it big, go to the wrong route by joining a secret cult and partake in rituals, had to sacrifice his wife to be able to satisfy the urges and the needs of the Dark Lord that he was serving, right? But the story didn't end well for this guy. What do you think happens when a man murders his wife in Nollywood movies? Yes, you guessed right. The spirit of the wife returns to haunt him till he finally confesses in the middle of the village. Okay, all right. No, it didn't exactly play out that way, but you get the point. His spirit is going to be tormented until, it gets to a point where he either converts to Christianity or gives his life to Christ, or he dies or gets hit by a car and, shaky steering effects and all that. Anyways, don't mind me. That's old Nollywood. Like Noah said in this movie, we don't do that here anymore. This is not Nollywood. I think that was a really cool scene, by the way. So, Living in Bondage, Breaking Free, the 2019 sequel to the original movie, tells the story and picks up basically from where things left off in the original movie. Now, Andy's son is all grown, an advertising guy, cool guy, handsome guy, all that stuff, trying to make it. But, with youths of nowadays, we like to make money quickly. We like all this hush puppy lifestyle. Nnamdi decides to take the fast lane. He gets offered the chance to become rich. And I think that's one of the things that this movie does brilliantly. The way they try to entice him is brilliantly done. It's not just take money, you will never be poor again. They use this passion to lure him in. That was how he was attracted. And I think that was brilliant because a lot of people who are trying to get you to do things you wouldn't want to do nowadays, they actually use a lot of psychology. They work on you, they use people you love, or they use things you love. And I think that was what this movie did brilliantly. They used what he was passionate about, which is his business. They made him work for it. He had to work for it, but at the same time, they gave him on a platter of gold. In the advertising world, you'll probably be pitching with like 50 other agencies for the job that he got. But this guy just got it just like that. And that way, it was like, oh boy, this is all I'll get to enjoy. Next thing was traveling to South Africa to close deals with multinationals and everything, all like that. So it was easy for them to actually attract him. And what follows is what I can't say because spoilers. What would happen to Nnamdi? Would he go down the rabbit hole the same way his father did? Would he take the lives, or would he take the actions that his father did, or will he miss those mistakes and take the right actions? Anyways, you need to see the movie to figure that out for yourself. What did I think about this movie? I think this movie was really great. Yeah, I said it. Living in Bondage was probably the best movie I saw last year. I'm trying to remember other movies I saw in 2019 that probably topped Living in Bondage in terms of Nollywood movies. But right now, none really comes to my mind. So that's why I'm just going to leave it in there like that and say, okay, this is the movie that I probably enjoyed the most out of 2019. That was a Nollywood film. And it was really well done in terms of everything that you can think of, in terms of skill, in terms of acting, directing, cinematography, writing, score. It was all done beautifully well. Director Ramsey Nouah, who uses this to kind of revive his directorial career. He's been directing some movies in the past, but with this, even some press outlets and some publications were calling this his directorial debut, but that's not true. He has directed some other stuff in the past. Did a great job. Even though I believe I don't know, but I'm not trying to take chops away. I feel like there was probably a lot of input from Steve Gukas. I could see that Steve Gukas touch. So what I would say is there seemed to have been a lot of synergy between the two of them as actor, as director and producer on this project. And I give kudos because there seemed to be a lot of synergy and a lot of touches from both parties that kind of paid off for us as the viewers in the end. And that's something I really, really think the movie gets credit for, right? So I really think the directing was well done. And I will also give chops to other people on the project. For example, editing was very much on point. There were really scenes that really wasted your time. The club scene at the beginning of the movie, normally with Nollywood, you'd have, lengthy scenes and all that. Chop, chop, fast, cut, let's go. Straight up. The party scene where you had the all-white party at Richard's house, brilliantly done again. No stretches and things like that. Even with the fact that some of these things were cut this way, the movie still ran into 2 hours, 22 minutes or 20 minutes. So I can imagine if they had dragged on certain scenes within the movie, how it will have been. Another thing, of course, that I really applaud was the cinematography. The cinematography was brilliant. It was well done. Even though there were a few scenes here and there that the lighting were a bit off, but I think those can be forgivable because overall the cinematography was really good. I like the cult scene where they had the sacrifice. That was really good. I like the way it was lit. Faces were revealed, but you can still see the mystery behind some of them. And there was a subtle revelation of Bob Marley's character in that scene. Like, it wasn't a direct placement on his face, but you could identify him like, hey, wait, that's Bob Marley, right? And I think that was one of the few times that the movie kind of shows Bob Marley and a few other characters in the movie. That brings me to some things that I really didn't like. Some characters were really redundant. Carlo Ikwego's character, I see nothing that guy was doing in that movie. It could have really been out of the story and you would not miss anything. The old guys, the veterans who were brought into the movie, maybe for Easter egg references and basically callbacks, for that fun of it, of making, what do they call this thing? Yeah, cameos, basically, for them making cameos in the movie. I think that will also give some nostalgic effect to the old school fans of the original Living in Bondage movie. So seeing those characters, it will have been like, hey, yeah, I remember this movie, because a lot of people actually remember Living in Bondage as the original first Nollywood production. I don't agree with that. There were other productions before that, so I wouldn't call that the first Nollywood production in Nigeria. Maybe by the name Nollywood, but I wouldn't say that is the case. But Living in Bondage has that emblem on crested on it as the poster child of Nollywood, and rightly so. And I'm really happy that a sequel lives up to the expectations of the original and fills the shoes that the original kind of left. So I'm actually very happy that the movie was good. Another character I felt was a bit off was the journalist guy that was trying to act like one Muyiwa CSI guy. His acting was off. He had, just take out that guy from the story. Aside from the exposition that he did, revealing some certain things that has to do with the whole ritual killings and all that, I feel like there are other ways that all those things could have been played out. I don't even think, even if he didn't even need to do all the exposition, really. That's what I feel. I feel like the story itself could have revealed all those things easily. So that's another thing I felt like was a bit off within the movie. But altogether, Living in Bondage, I've seen it multiple times, and each time I really enjoyed the movie. I love the way the movie started. The movie set a pace and let us know right from the get-go, this is what you're about to watch. With the opening scene, you know, there was this beautiful scene, the way the scene opened, and it was also sad because of what transpired in that scene. I love the way the movie opened, and then the way everything then played out and how things connected seamlessly. In terms of acting, Ramsey, as expected, it did deliver. A lot of people said they didn't get the Al Pacino character that I was trying to channel and everything. Maybe there was just one scene where it was off. Maybe the scene where he tells Ramsey to sort of punch the accelerator when he was driving the Ferrari or something. Yeah, I think that was a bit choppy and all that, but it delivered some really good scenes, some one-liners about, you know, this is not Nollywood and all that. I think I really love that. And in the cinema, there was an eruption of laughter when he did that. So those were some credits that I would give to him. The revelation of the movie, I wouldn't say it's only Swanky. I would say it's Swanky and Munachi. Both of them played the roles of Nnamdi and his girlfriend. I can't remember her name right now. And I think they were really beautiful together. Their chemistry. I even feel like some of their scenes where they acted together, there was a bit of freestyle, right? Because it was so fluid. Like the scene where they met and they were drinking palm wine and removing shoes and running, and that was so beautiful. I was like, wow, this is really beautiful. I would really love to see these two as a couple. So I think their chemistry was also really brilliant, and I loved it. And so great job in terms of the directing, the writing, the story, the cinematography, and of course the acting. In all, I think Living in Bondage is a great job that opens up new possibilities, new waters for Nollywood. I'm talking about remakes and sequels, and, you know, building up on franchises of old. This is something that before now Nigerian filmmakers have not really been able to crack. But with Charles Play, who bought the rights to this movie, was it Charles or was it Ramsey that bought the rights to this movie? I can't really remember right now, but I think it's one of them. I think it's one of them that bought the rights to the movie, and Charles, as the producer, you know, he takes up a great property, and he has opened up a great space, a great market for himself that I think is going to, you know, build up. When the movie came out then, or when the movie was about to come out, I said this movie was going to do well in terms of a cinema run because of the nostalgic effect and the fact that production value was also great. So it was going to connect the old audience with the new, and I think that's exactly what it did. And of course, the fact that the movie was actually very good also helped sell this brilliantly. So for me, Living in Bondage, Breaking Free earns a solid popcorn and soda, and that is well earned. It's a movie I enjoyed very much, great combination, and I recommend highly for you. Big ups. I can't wait to see other stuff that are coming up. Enyinna and the Serpent, I think that's the name. Domitila. I can't wait to see all those movies, those classic movies getting sequels or remakes. Have we finally unlocked the Hollywood formula of remakes and big budget movies like the Disneys and the likes have actually done? I guess time will tell. I'm your host, Muyiwa, and I've had so much fun discussing this movie with you. If you've seen it, please let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. Did you like it? Do you think it's overrated? Do you think it's underrated? Well, I don't think it will be underrated because a lot of people have been making noise about it. So just let me know what you think about the movie in the comment section below. Sorry about that. In the comment section below. And before we go, I would ask you one question. Have you subscribed? Before I go all voodoo and cultish on you. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds wrong. But please subscribe, turn on the notification icon, and see you next time on Sodas and Popcorn Reviews. Till then, catch ya.